Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bhargavi Shankar, and this evening I would like to share with you the importance that Dubai Modern High School places on leadership. So when we use the term leadership, what do we actually mean? It's something so abstract that even the dictionaries have failed to define it. But instead of defining it, here at Modern, we can see it come to life all around us. And frankly speaking, in the last year, I think we've gone a very, very long way in putting systems in place that's going to help us foster this leadership. Here in the school, leadership is a concept that's both recognized and encouraged, no matter what age. For example, starting from the primary school leaders right up to the prefectorial body, these are institutions that represent a student voice. Last year, students formulated an anti-bullying policy. And the idea behind this was quite simple. By showing mutual respect for each other, we are surrounded by a happier environment, one in which we are happy to come to school. Actually, this policy came about through the various student councils that we put in place last year. These councils help to focus on student leadership, therefore allowing leadership to have a greater impact. There are 5 councils in the school, but how effective are these councils? For the first time ever at Modern, the Business and Economics Council conceptualized the business fair, which was an opportunity for the pupils of this school to learn about entrepreneurship. It gave pupils a hands-on experience on managing the pros and cons of a business. But the most praiseworthy part of this venture was that each participant pledged to give a share of its profits to charity. And I think that's when leadership becomes truly meaningful. Now, innovative ideas were not only restricted to one council. Responsible for the learning corners along with the prefects is the Academic Council. This council has made students take responsibility for their learning. Now, another feature that was unique to last year was the regular meetings that the prefects and the council members had with the senior management team and the teachers. We also held regular meetings with the parents of the school to ensure that they were aware of every new project that we had initiated. The essence of these meetings was sharing, because often we are unaware that the best ideas come from incongruous viewpoints. And of course, sharing is a significant part of leadership. You see, I've been in this school for 14 years, and it's taken me 13 of those years to figure out what leadership is. I've realized that it has 2 aspects. It's diverse and it's dynamic. When I look around to watch my fellow classmates or my juniors, I know that they want and they crave that ability to make a change. Never mind if they're on a cricket field, or on a stage, or in an ashram in Bangalore. And I can see those aspects shining brightly through them every single day. Abraham Lincoln once said, "The very essence of leadership is that you have to have a vision." And I think that every student at Dubai Modern High School has a vision. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anirudh Sivaram, and there's one thing I'm very passionate about as a student of Modern High. It's how learning happens. My computer classes couldn't be a more apt representation of where learning in this school is headed. We bring our own laptops into the classroom, which are equipped with state-of-the-art Promethean technology. This means that teachers can drag, drop, and create open source learning from within the classroom. And you know what? We don't gauge student response by a show of hands anymore. Instead, we use clickers, devices that allow students to vote on issues and enter whole answers from their seats. Technology has ensured that the dynamics of learning have long transcended the walls of the classroom. We've encountered a revolution today, a revolution in the way we learn and the way we think. Here at Dubai Modern High School, it's pupils like us who drive the learning process. Bringing about this change has been challenging. But in the process, I've realized one very important thing: that students here want this responsibility. So as we strive to take learning outside the classroom, we created the concept of learning corners. Centers that would pioneer the free exchange of ideas and the sharing of information. It's in these centers that we display the writing and art samples of students so that they may be appreciated by the entire student community. In these centers, we also have a unique initiative that we call Talks. Talks are an opportunity for pupils of the school to carry out independent research and then to bring this research back and share it with other pupils of the school. 6 months into this program, we have topics generated on a daily basis, making us think in ways that we had never thought of before. So be it orbital mechanics, gaming, sport, or even something as simple as how to get rich, we're broadening our horizons on a daily basis and looking at things in ways we had never conceived before. But while we stick with the theme of exploring new interests, as senior pupils of the school last year, we realized there was a problem because children rarely spent enough time quietly retrospecting where their learning was headed. I believe strongly in one thing, that an education must inculcate a pupil's personality, and it must probe at him to encourage him to generate what he believes in. And so, standing strong in this belief, we put into place the pupil profile, a booklet where we get to let students get greater insight into what they believe in or what they stand for. The principle of broadening our scope of learning applies to a trip that senior girls took to the Sherfield School in London in July 2010. We realized something very important about learning through this. As the world continues to integrate and our societies become closer to each other, it's very, very important to develop an understanding and appreciation for different points of view and different cultural backgrounds. And that's what we try to stimulate through trips like the Sherfield School, encouraging pupils to respect differences and embrace them in a world that's becoming more closely knit as I speak. However, while we want students to continue to guide the rudder of their own learning, we also want to leave students with something to aspire towards. Let's be honest here. Times are turbulent. We're facing an upheaval in our value system. And often students can go through the entirety of high school not knowing which principles should guide their education or totally bereft of direction altogether. But we never wanted this to be the collective destiny of pupils at Modern High. And so we put into place the Modern Learner, a series of attributes that we believe best typifies the pupils of Dubai Modern High School. And you know something? While it's true that our pupils associate more closely with some attributes than others, the beauty of this document is that it's not my batch's departing legacy. Instead, in the true spirit of how learning happens, it was fashioned through discussion and debate with the entire school community. And so we look forward to a future that we can't predict. But we know one thing here, that in an institution where students take responsibility for their own learning, we empower them to become leaders, to become people who will change the future meaningfully, and to become people who will take impactful decisions on the world. That's why at Dubai Modern High School, we place so much emphasis on a student-driven learning environment. Thank you.